When you first get here, you hear it a lot. And it goes off all the time. It signifies hope and that help is on the way.
Oh yeah, so we're actually from Corpus Christi.
Coming from Arlington, Texas.
I'm a teacher at Westbrook High School in Moore, Oklahoma.
We could, give back.
We have a lot of people coming to help their neighbors.
Anita, thank you for being here.
We're ready. We're ready to serve our community. Yes, you know what? They asked me for this yesterday.
Thank you for returning. I'm sure we're going to have some rain here. We need to get these clothes into a pallet.
That's it. Thank you, sir.
We're just real good at this. Well, then I have to put you to work.
Morning, ladies.
If you'll just sign your name here.
We have supplied about $5,000 worth.
Just be grateful.
We still have loved ones to hold. They don't.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
We call us the bag lady.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Westbrook. The July 4th floods took lives, uprooted families, destroyed homes, and left entire communities reeling across the hill country in Texas. Nearly 1 week later, we know many of you are looking for more ways to help. Our parent company, Gray Television, is partnering with Graham Media Group and the Salvation Army for the Together for Texas initiative. To make a donation, scan the QR code on your screen or visit togetherfortx.com. We go now to Kerrville, where your donations are already making a difference. It's the sound of hope, service, and gratitude.
Just be grateful that you still have loved ones to hold. They don't.
It signifies hope and that help is on the way. The volunteers are here. It's like they're here. And it goes off all the time, constantly.
Kathy Clark with the Salvation Army Texas Division hopes to hear this sound in her sleep. The coming and going of volunteers and flood victims getting the help they need is music to her ears at the distribution site in Kerrville. The doors are open to those who need help and those who want to provide it.
I have never in my life seen the amount of outpouring of help, that people just want to help. They want to help this community. They want to help communities all across Texas that are experiencing flooding, because that's happening other places as well.
The needs may shift daily from community to community in the Hill Country, but these volunteers are committed to keeping up, traveling from near and far.
I'm a teacher at Westbrook High School in Moore, Oklahoma.
Coming from Arlington, Texas. Saw the news and I felt like we needed the help. Salvation Army had a really good outreach on their social media, clear directions of how to come and support them here in Kerrville.
This is where the sorting begins. Volunteers will meet you at the curb, and as you can see, people are dropping off everything from diapers to cleaning supplies, food, and toiletries.
Well, we appreciate it.
I'm going to hand it off to you guys to collect the items that are needed.
And as always, simply opening your wallet can go a long way.
Honestly, we need monetary donations because then we can use that money to help out those people that need rent money. They need, we just had a lady's car fall apart out there as she's picking up supplies.
Survivors are going to need this. They've lost everything. And so anybody that donates financially, 100% of the funds will go to these affected people that the floods across Texas.
Is there any peanut butter, like peanut butter individual cups?
I just saw a big container butter.
I take them.
Oh, and it's okay.
Yes.
The individual was out like.
They still want him.
Still want him.
They want him. They take it. They don't say no. Right now, we have a lot of people coming to load up and to help their neighbors and their loved ones. So, we're ready. We're ready to serve our community.
Volunteers are taking donations and mobilizing across the Hill Country at churches and businesses.
A lot of these folks, especially folks, are just, they're in a lot of trouble. They know they're going to be financially strained, so it's good for them just to have small things that they can grab.
They're meeting flood victims in their neighborhoods to take requests for assistance and prayers. They're asking you to keep their bell ringing as we come together for Texas. You can scan the QR code on your screen throughout this program to make a donation to the Salvation Army. As you heard from Kerrville, 100% of your donations will go to affected families. More than 100 people are dead and more than 100 are still missing. We continue to hear incredible stories of survival along the Guadalupe River. 14-year-old twins from Waco, Clara and Nolan Shelton, were both rescued from their summer camps. Clara was a camper at Camp Mystic, where 27 campers and staff died. Nolan was a camper 6 miles downstream. Isabella Quintanilla joins us now with their story, shared in their interview with Julie Hayes.
I heard a counselor come into our cabin and say, "Hey, our cabin's flooding. We need help."
Clara, who is staying in the nurse's cabin on higher ground, says that's when she started to realize something was wrong.
I remember her saying, "It's coming in quick. It's coming from the closet."
Later hearing on a walkie-talkie that there were girls on the roofs of their cabin. But it wasn't until the morning when she saw the devastation with her own eyes that the gravity of the situation hit her.
I saw the girls. I mean, there were so many girls crying, throwing up, and I saw blood. And this is whenever I realized, okay, like, this is really something that's happening. And then around then too is whenever I heard helicopters flying around the camp.
Nolan was also in a cabin on higher ground and didn't realize the severity of the flooding until he heard the stories from nearby cabins.
There was this one counselor saying that he had to get his kids out of the window or something when there was water just rushing in, and there was a kid that was trying to grab all his stuff, and the counselor said, "You got to get out of here or else you're gonna die." There was another counselor talking about how he woke up and he felt water on him, but he thought it was another counselor pranking him at first. But then he looked outside of his window and the field that he knew, it was covered in water that he said it looked like an ocean.
At Camp Mystic, Clara and the other girls had to be evacuated by a military vehicle and then a bus.
It's fresh like spring. We want to pass it on.
In this viral video, you can actually see Clara singing along with her fellow campers.
We knew that singing would help comfort the other girls. So it was kind of like we just all kind of started singing together, and it really made a difference. There was joy on that bus from the singing.
But as they evacuated, driving past Camp La Junta, she says the one thing on her mind was her twin brother.
After I had seen my brother's campgrounds, I was almost convinced that I would never get to be in the presence of him again.
Whenever everyone kept on talking about Mystic and how there were people missing, people dead, that's when I thought my sister could be one of those people, and I just have to prepare for the worst.
Thankfully, Clara and Nolan were reunited and got to go home with their parents. But their mother, Suzanne Shelton, says their hearts hurt for all the kids who couldn't and the families that didn't get to say goodbye.
You're relieved, but you almost also are overwhelmed with a sense of guilt because you got to bring your 2 children home and other families weren't as fortunate.
I felt guilty because I was able to stand there and hug my sibling when I could see people around me crying because theirs weren't there.
The water that once comforted so many families and businesses here in Kerr County turned deadly in a matter of minutes. You see the water behind me rose all the way up to the banks to restaurants like Howdy's. And the restaurant took in water, but is now back in business, serving as a safe haven, a one-stop shop for its customers and locals.
The look in these people's eyes is like nothing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I mean,
Sarah Smith is used to serving up smiles to campers and people floating down the river as they make a stop at Howdy's Restaurant Bar and Chill in Kerrville. The local hangout and event venue took in water, but they're back in business now.
Miraculously, we're somehow still standing, and unlike a lot of places along here on the river, so we've been trying to put that out, like, hey, you know, we have things, we're here to help, anything that you need, come by, even if you need a chair to sit in for a few minutes, we're open, you know.
A chair to sit or spin in, if you're Justin Brown's daughters, Avery and Riley. If you look closer at this daddy-daughter date, you'll see Avery is still in the rainbow pajamas she was wearing when her family's home was swept away.
For some random reason that night, they slept in my room. So everything was fast, quick, and easy to evacuate. They haven't slept in my room in months. That thunder hit about 2 a.m., which was loud, knocked my blinds off the wall. And the lightning was going great, so I had a perfect view of the river. Every time it flashed, I could see the river. We were fine. 2 a.m., I walked out, checked the river. We were fine. I didn't think we were in a life-threatening situation. I thought it was just going to be our trailer damage. Maybe it might float them and push them off to the side or something. That'd be the worst of it. Or we lose the trailer, but it's going to take 40 minutes to get that high.
15 minutes later.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, it was under 20 feet of water before. It was floating away with my car. It started to as I drove them out.
Stranded with no safe place for the girls, he spent the day filling out FEMA paperwork at his usual hangout, with a now familiar look in his eyes for employees there.
To be brutally honest, it's terrible. It's very tragic. I actually just spoke with a man earlier, a few minutes ago, that is looking for his wife. They were in a feud, and you don't talk for a couple months, and he lived out of town, and then this happened, and she hasn't contacted him. And there are plenty of people that they're the only one that survived out of their family. And I mean, you can just tell that their lives have been drained and their souls are tired, and it's brutal. It's tragic.
The river is their home away from home, and it's hard for them to imagine a time when things will get back to normal on the water.
So over here, where these porta potties are right here, that we had probably maybe 5 or 6 RVs that were lined across this way. Right there, if you can tell that is a ramp, you walk down there, there were RVs lined this way, and we had what we called an island. Right there, we did events like weddings and funerals and things like that. If you see that bathroom building, there was a whole pavilion over there that has been ripped up.
But behind the sadness in their eyes, hope remains.
Now it's just time to rebuild, and FEMA's going to do what they're going to do. We have a really great community here.
So I'm really hoping that once we get things cleaned up and cleared out and people and properties are found, that we'll be able to hang out in our little spots and stuff like that. I know that, like at Hunt Crossing, there's a tree that I've jumped off of for the last 20 years, and I don't think that's standing anymore. So I know personally, I don't want it to be something that everybody's now cautious of, and they don't want to go to the river because of this stuff.
The Salvation Army often works hand in hand with law enforcement. While families rebuild their lives after the July 4th flood, many first responders have theirs on hold as they try to bring closure to those searching for loved ones.
Flash flooding in this area is crazy.
I knew people right next door, and I know people upriver that are gone, and I know people in Hunt that are gone, and when the river comes up like that, there's no time. There is no time.
Everyone's just trying to do their part. There's it's a horrible sense of search, right? Because you're searching for something you hope you don't find.
But we know that what is needed and wanted the most is all the families out there who are waiting for information about their child or their loved one. There are some of the best experts in the world at search and rescue missions.
They are not sleeping. They are working every day. Thank you to the families. Thank you to the Salvation Army. Thank you to everyone who is just reaching out and saying, how can I help?
As you can well imagine, it is a heartbreaking environment down there.
We have crews from Mexico here. We have crews from Canada.
I want to say thank you to the dedicated men and women of the first responders. You are our heroes today. We will not stop. We will rescue those in peril, and we will find those who are missing.
The emotional toll, everybody has the emotional toll to themselves different. One will deal with it better than the other. This heat is bad, and it doesn't take long, 2 hours digging into these piles, and you're tired.
We're all communicating, and we will not stop until we find every last person.
Those babies. Those babies. If it was my babies, I'd want somebody looking, so that's why I'm here.
In the first 24 hours, our Together for Texas campaign raised more than $120,000 for the Salvation Army. Help us deliver food, housing, and financial aid to families in the Hill Country by scanning the QR code on your screen or by visiting together4tx.com. 100% of your donations will support on-the-ground efforts.
Thank y'all for donating to the Salvation Army, because Salvation Army came first out here to start helping folks, and we appreciate everybody that helping out.
First, and they plan to be last, promising hope is on the way for Hill Country flood victims.
We're strategically set up to do this. We can handle the donations and get them in the field. We've got the logistics to do it. But also, we've got the know-how and the ability to financially help people.
It's been 10 years since Kathy Clark with the Salvation Army's Texas Division experienced anything close to a disaster like this, when she and her colleagues were on the receiving end of flood relief.
I can relate back to a few years ago, maybe around 2016 or so, when Baton Rouge was hit tremendously. The Salvation Army was impacted. We lost every building. It was a horrific flood, and it affected so many people.
The people who lived it now paying it forward in Texas.
People from Louisiana, people from New Mexico, they just want to be a part of it, and they want to help these people that have been affected.
Gratitude at each canteen unit overflows as locals and visitors like Jennifer Funk stop to say thank you and pray. Jennifer was in town from Harlingen, Texas, visiting her elderly parents who were affected in an Ingram retirement community.
But we're all alive. When we walked, my mother didn't have shoes on. I got her some shoes, and in the confusion, they got left in the boat.
Had to be evacuated by boat.
Yes. And the nice thing is, a neighbor had a boat, and they came and they told him he didn't leave, and he said, "I have his boat. Y'all want to use it?" And he said, "I was rescued by my own boat."
Water rushed into their garage and vehicles as the fire department woke them.
I don't remember what time it was. It was after about 5:36. Anyway, he was just like beating on the door like this. He said, "You need to evacuate now. Get out now." So we came. We were in our pajamas. We were sleeping. And so we opened the door, and he's in a boat right there. He could only get up to the steps, and the water was here, up to this step right here. So when you step down, I mean, that's all you saw with the step.
The water traveling 400 feet from the river to their front porch. The family is joining neighbors to clean up their community as rescue choppers fly overhead.
When they came in, you were grateful because you knew that they were bringing somebody that rescued.
The new soundtrack of the Hill Country and their Salvation Army locations for the foreseeable future.
How long do you expect to be here in Kerrville? You know, that's a really big question. The Kroc Center and the Salvation Army Kerrville Corps, they're here for the long haul. So they're going to be here for us. I mean, they're going to be helping this community probably for years.
which means she'll also need a steady rotation of passionate volunteers like they're already seeing in week 1.
Because there's always people that need help, and we need like everybody we can get, because there's a lot of people that are struggling right now, and if you're able-bodied, it'd be nice to help everybody else that isn't able to help themselves.
It's clear that like an event like this where the community can come together is really powerful and important for the people of Texas and specifically this county in Kerrville.
Today I have items for babies, cleanup materials. Oh, the brooms. I forgot the broom handles. They're in the back.
You never know when you might need help.
You're here to help. Well, then I have to shoot a word to Monty.
It means a lot for them to be able to have enough trust in us to come and help volunteer and help people that need help.
Kathy says they will find a place for you, whether you sign up or show up.
They can come here, they can help outside, do some, and then volunteers can also go to other places, other organizations that might need volunteers. So this is kind of like the hub for that. We can load hot food, snacks, cold drinks, and really get into some tight areas to deliver food and respite care to individuals.
You never stop working. You never stop working, even when I see
we're in Kerrville, Texas tonight. That he would tell us that the kingdom of God is like serving thousands of free meals every day to volunteers and first responders. Kingdom of God looks like hundreds of volunteers walking our riverbanks on a daily basis with chainsaws and equipment and things that they can clear the path for families to be able to have closure with what they're doing.
All residents of Kerr County, this is our home. This is the beautiful hill country that we have grown to love and to cherish.
God looks like Kerr County rising together in a time of need, in a time of desperation, in a time of hurt.
We are honored as broadcasters to partner with the Salvation Army. While recovery will take time in the Hill Country and beyond, donations raised through this drive will directly help families affected by this tragedy. Please help us make a difference by scanning the QR code on your screen or by visiting together4tx.com. We mourn the lives lost and grieve for the loved ones they leave behind. Thank you for watching Together for Texas.
Those babies. Those babies. If it was my babies, I'd want somebody looking, so that's why I'm here.
Looking for our kids. We're looking for places that they're gonna potentially be alive.
I knew people right next door, and I know people upriver that are gone, and I know people in Hunt that are gone, and when the river comes up like that, there's no time.
Everyone's just trying to do their part. You know, there's it's a horrible sense of search, right? Because you're searching for something you hope you don't find,
But at the same time, you know, if you've got family members that are missing, you hope there are people out there looking for them.
We are hurting. We are picking up the pieces. But we are not alone. When communities come together, we are hopeful, we are strong, we are giving. We help our friends, neighbors, and families in need. Scan the code or go to togetherfortx.com and join Gray Media to help. We are Together for Texas.